This is D-Roy Cruz, your life applications officer. Okay, that shit is gone. All right, so let's let here D-Roy Cruz.
Hey folks, the Recruiter Life Applications Officer. Um, Happy New Year. Just in case I don't do another video on New Year's Day, let me get it out of the way right now. Happy New Year's. Um, from Pittsburgh. Um, and just another freestyle video on the status quo uh, thing that I've been talking about.
All right, so one of the things that I totally despise of D-Roy Cruz, and my headphones are going out a little bit, so bear with me. Um, he is your life applications officer. Now, far be it for me to like tell somebody how their life is going. I'm a 37, almost 38-year old that's trying to do streaming for a fucking career and art and other shit, you know. But he actually has a shit dead end job, but he wants to give you advice about how to live your life because he's a Christian. No. For me, I don't tell people how to live their lives. I just think that they should expand their whole circle of what things, what their beliefs may actually be. I think that people should actually question things that they've been taught just because they've been taught them. Doesn't necessarily mean they're right. And this is far from the whole flat earth bullshit, but a lot of it is people just want to feel comforted in their beliefs and what they actually grew up believing without challenging themselves. And D-Roy Cruz is one of those peoples. But let's let him hear him talk.
About I couldn't resist. You know,
Hold on, guys.
I kind of did the same thing I did the other night. I got up, I fell asleep last night and got up.
I gotta get new headphones.
Up in the middle of the night.
There we go.
And my computer was running. Okay, I fell asleep while my computer was on and woke up and backspaced, and voila, found a new guy on there talking about the Young Turks here on YouTube.
All right, so I, God damn it. So I fall asleep with YouTube all the time because no, I don't. Well, yeah, I do because I actually don't watch regular TV. I don't fucking watch regular TV. I watch YouTube. I basically have cable in order to get my internet at a cheaper price. Fuck you, Comcast. Fuck you in particular. But I know not to fall down that fucking YouTube rabbit hole. And it seems like D-Roy doesn't. He doesn't know how to turn off autoplay. And usually when I'm falling asleep to YouTube, it's on a device that disables autoplay because just some bullshit I don't want to see anymore. So let's see if he and by the way, I actually have him turned up like 1.5 speed because he talks so fucking slow. But let's continue.
And Donald Trump impeachment, how it's going to turn out to be a big, a waste of time, and the truth of the matter behind the impeachment is not what it is. It's just the Democrats trying to make people think that an impeachment is really taking place.
No. Fuck no. If he's watching the Young Turks, unless he's talking about one of their detractors, the Young Turks have been consistently advocating the fact that, yes, we know that the fucking impeachment trial will more than likely die in the Senate. But that's not the point of doing the impeachment. Motherfucking Trump broke the motherfucking law. And I'm sorry, D-Roy, that you feel that yo God King Trump can do no wrong. But the fact that he should have been impeached from the moment he took the oath of office because it was violation of the emolument clause. Now, when you have a country that is ruled, that follows the rule of law and order, of course, no one is above the law, not even your favorite fucking president. Come on, D-Roy. Come on, man. It's you better than that. I mean, like, I know it's like I know you have an issue with, you know, I know you have an issue with the way that people didn't hold Obama accountable, but damn it, Trump should be held accountable for committing the same crimes and more. He should be held accountable. But let's continue.
When it's not really, when it really isn't, because the 2020 election, blah 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 blah. Then I stumbled across.
Oh, another strategy. The reason why they're doing impeachment and it should actually go to the House and it should go to the Senate is because the fact of the matter is you have one party that is letting a criminal get away with crimes, and then, yes, of course, even if they think that they should fail, we should have it where you have Democrats using this to an advantage to say, hey, Republicans will vote for a criminal just because it has the word R next to their name. And the sad part about it is, and I know you talk about the Young Turks in the video, and some of their policies I agree with, some of them I don't agree with. But the fact that they are advocating for upholding the law and order and are advocating that those who don't should be put on record that they're not advocating for the law and order, that's political strategy. Now, if we had strong Democrats instead of weak Democrats and strong Republicans, then they would see this and want to put the Republicans on record of supporting a criminal. But, money in politics, we have strong Republicans but weak Democrats. But let's continue.
The Young Turks. Fat Mouth Zing Auger. Or Zing, whichever it is.
His name, he's Turkish, it's Jank. Like, dude, don't be that asshole. It's Jank. It's spelled with a C, but it sounds like a J. And you know this. You're just being an asshole. If somebody to call you Crew or Delroy, you have a fucking issue because you'll feel that you weren't being respected. But let's continue, right?
Starts with a C, but it's not. Starts with a C, but it's not. It's not a C. I don't want this black eye on me. The guy that I was listening to, I never met him before. He is a Republican, and I don't mean to spend a lot of time on politics.
Whoa, wait the fuck on. Yes, of course you do need to spend a lot on politics. That's what your whole... If you talk about how somebody's policy should affect their lives, that's spending time on politics, dog. That's what politics is. The policies that affect our lives. I'm just gonna put it out there, like, that's what politics are. But let's continue.
This series, because but being I'm doing this status quo thing, politics and religion, if you must call it that, kind of intertwine. But there are less Christians in the Republican Party than there are anybody else.
So now we're starting this whole purity test bullshit, dog. About the fact that you're not a real Christian unless you believe exactly how I want you to believe. Like, that's bullshit. And you're running into the only this particular subset is acceptable to what I believe. And those never work out well. I mean, like, if you want to do that, then Christianity is not the most prolific religion, because if you were to include everybody that you would, if you were to exclude everybody that you think wasn't a real Christian, you would exclude Catholics who make up a majority of the religion. I'm just saying, D-Roy, it's like, you don't know what you're asking, dog. You're basically asking to say, well, these people weren't a part of my religion, and these people weren't true Christians, or these people in the Republicans don't have real Christians in them in the party, where 90% of evangelicals voted for Trump. Or, excuse me, it was around 80%. I'm sorry, I'm being hyperbolic, but let's continue.
There are less Christians in the Democratic Party than any other group. Doesn't matter where you go, Christians are the minority.
No. That you just can't stand with that shit, man. Christians are not the minority of people in this country. Now, you can say that there are practicing nuns. I mean, there are nuns. Like, really, you can say that, but Christians are not the minority in this country. I don't know where you're getting that from. Or I guess your particular brand of Christians aren't leading the country. But let's continue.
In anything. You don't need to be a Christian to be a Republican. What is the point of having these parties? And why are we so aggressive within any party? Simply because life isn't fair. And it's not meant to be. Life is not fair. And it is not meant to be.
Is that what you tell yourself because you only like 5'2", dog? Is that what you tell yourself? Because you 5'2". Is that what you tell yourself because you actively push people away and you're fucking alone? Is that what you tell yourself because you have a wedge between so many people that you come across? Like, I've listened to your videos through other people, and you're just, it's mind-boggling of how you think the deck is stacked against you, but a lot of it is your own fucking fault. And I'm not usually one who says that, oh, you're the cause of your problems. But no, you are actively the cause of your problems with your attitude towards people. But let's continue.
Once you die, and then the judgment. Okay? The Bible says we groan and moan for the resurrection of our bodies. We groan and moan for that better place. Even though we may not even believe in that better place. Or believe in the resurrection. But at the same time...
Wait, did he just say what I thought he says? Hold on. He literally just said what I thought he said. Because basically he just said that, well, even if you don't claim to be a Christian, you are anyway a Christian. Because the Bible says. Like, literally, not everybody's a believer, dog. Like, for real. It's okay not to be one. This is what I don't get. A lot of these guys get upset when you say you don't believe in God because it makes them look like fools to believe in something that not everybody believes in. So they have to manufacture that, oh, you believe, you're just hiding the fact that you believe. You're hiding the fact even into yourself. But, let's continue.
We all want the same thing. We all want the same thing. We all want to be at that place where we know that, number one, we're right in whatever we're doing. We are righteous in whatever we're doing. We want to be doing the right thing.
So we come to really what this is about. It's about perpetually being right. It's about I need to know that I'm always right about something. You know, like that's dangerous. That's dangerous to have the feel that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, without correction, you're always right. Now I'm someone who jokes around about always being right. Part of it's ego, part of it's when I find better information, I correct that information about myself and make sure that I'm right going forward. Something tells me D-Roy is not that type of person. He is, I'm right no matter what. I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. That's why he's the life applications officer because he's always right. Right? No matter what he says, he's right. Even if it's completely wrong, even if there's no evidence to support what he is saying, he's always right. Right? Nothing that he says is wrong because he's right. No matter what somebody tells him, he's right. And this is a dangerous attitude to have because you won't stand for correction. You sit back and think that, well, I can be the life applications officer because I'm always right. And that shit just doesn't work, D-Roy. It doesn't. It makes you seem like an asshole. Makes you seem like an asshole. But anyway, let's continue.
Then we want the security that comes to us because we are doing the right thing. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what happened to me last week. Doing the right thing almost got me knocked flat out on my head.
Okay, you can do the right thing without getting knocked out, unless you're actively stopping someone from being hurt. Like seriously, like nothing that I do that is a right thing other than stopping someone from being violently attacked would get me knocked out. I'm sorry. I mean, like, no. No. If it's me standing up for somebody who's being attacked, yeah, of course, I may get knocked out because, dude, I'm standing up for somebody. Right? Like, for real. You can't just say something I did actually led to me almost getting knocked out, unless you was running your motherfucking mouth to the wrong motherfucking person, and then of course you still aren't right, D-Roy. But let's continue.
And I'd have been called a coward if I didn't do it.
Wait, I get called. Dude. You can get called a coward all the time. It doesn't matter if someone calls you a coward. You stand up for what's fucking right, dude. Like, no. Somebody challenging your 5'3" of your manhood, you see as an issue. Come on now, man. Don't be that person. Don't be that person where you always have to be right, and anybody challenging you, you look like a coward. So what if you like a coward? Like, for real. How dare you, man? It's so disheartening for you to actually say that. Did you know you in the wrong? You know you're in the wrong for that one, there. But let's continue.
But the problem is that mixture of parties. Because, see, the same people that will tell me at work every day, hey, why don't you tell your officers this? Why don't you tell your officers this? Why don't you tell your officers that? You know, why is your officer getting away with this and why is your officer getting away with that? And I, like a good soldier, I say, I'll deal with that immediately. But then when I deal with
Wait, no, dog. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. A good soldier doesn't just follow orders. Ask the people at Nuremberg. And this is my problem with people like him. It's like they have no sense of I know it sounds weird as much as he's going to talk about this, but they have no sense of personal responsibility. They have no sense of, well, I'm doing this because it's right and standing up for people. No, it's I'm I need to prove my manhood in some kind of way. I need to prove that I'm right in some kind of way, and it's just like, dude, that's not how this works, D-Roy. That's not how this works. I gotta keep my follower alive. No shit. Damn it. But let's continue.
Some guy who comes in and most of his entire life is a lie. He's a liar. You don't know. You don't even know if his name is really what it is. He lies so much. He's a star. He's a superstar, which he has not been able to prove that he's a superstar. That's still under question. And even though his own friends laugh at him because they don't believe him, but yet they never mention him when they say, "Hey Cruz, why don't you tell your officers this? Why don't you tell your officers that?" And then they say he does his job. How does he do his job?
Somebody sounds a little jelly because okay, so let's just talk about exactly what he just made a point about. So what he just made a point about is the fact that, and yeah, I'm cheating because I need to get my shit. Cloak, um, and God and fucking Fly. But he just talked about what the fuck is really going on. His feelings are hurt because somebody just he feels that he does everything that's asked of him, and somebody who doesn't gets away with shit. And it's just like, then don't let them get away with shit. And he actually thinks that one, like, I work in a call center. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm somebody who can actually hear across the call center. I am. I am somebody who can hear across the call center. I know somebody who's talking shit about, or selling the wrong thing, or you know, is actively doing something that they shouldn't do in order to quote unquote get ahead or things of that nature. I That's what I do in a call center. I know it's shitty, but I don't go to somebody in a when they're doing call reviews and say, "Hey, you know, this person is not doing everything that they do like they need to do. Um, like fucking, you know, write them up or some shit like that." But D-Roy has a different thing, and it's just like I don't. He sounds more that he's jealous than anything. He sounds like he is just really mad that somebody else is more popular than he is, that is quote unquote getting away with something that he's not getting away with, it's almost as if he feels that this guy actually, I don't know, just he seems jealous. He seems like he's saying like, no, 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 I'm doing my job as I should, and this person should be actually in a worse state than I'm in because I'm D-Roy Cruz and I can't, and I'm omniscient and I can see when somebody else is fucking up. Sorry, guys, I want a couple of chips. I was prepared to shrink for the long haul. See, chips. Well, let's continue.
He was up here flirting with you when he's supposed to be doing his job. And you're the one that tells me he does his job?
So, that's actually telling on two fronts. He actually feels that, one, you can tell it's a little animosity because the quote-unquote person that is not doing their job isn't doing their job, and D-Roy feels that's wrong some kind of way. And two, do I detect a little bit of how dare this woman is telling me what the fuck to do? Do I detect a little bit of that? Because I detect a little bit of that. He's not doing his job and you're not catching him because he's flirting with you. Like, literally. That's literally what this man sounds like. Like, he's not doing his job at all, and he's up here flirting with you. And the reason why he's getting away with it because he's over here flirting with you. And how dare you not catch him? How dare you not catch him when he's not doing what he's supposed to, and you're being a beneficiary of getting his attention? You should be giving me that attention. But, let's continue, right? God damn it.
I told Ross, I said, what, you mean today he was up here flirting with you? And I almost had to tell him, like, what are we doing, man? Are we working or what are we doing?
He's jealous. This person probably is probably taller. Even if it's only by half a foot. Shit, I'm 5'7". I bet he'd be jealous of me. God damn, that's fucked up. That's seriously fucked up. Like, he jelly because somebody else was flirting and he couldn't get the attention that he wanted. Like, goddamn, like, sorry, D-Roy, like, you feel that somebody is getting more attention than what you should be getting. And not only that, it's just like, how do you know that this man is not doing his work? Like, for real, how do you know? Maybe he is doing his work. Maybe he finished his work. Maybe he's yet to start his work. Maybe, just maybe, he's taking a break. Maybe he's doing the shit on his break. People take breaks, D-Roy. I don't know what to tell you, man. You sound hurt. You sound legitimately hurt that how dare somebody is up here flirting with you working hard. When they out here hardly working. Dude, I feel bad. I fucking feel bad for you, man. But, welcome home. He look like he about to cry for real. Like, seriously, he looks like he's about to cry. He's so upset with furious rage that He looks like he's about to cry about the shit. D-Roy, D-Roy, D-Roy.
Same people that will tell me how to do my job and call me a coward if I'm not constantly standing up to people and telling them the truth about themselves. Well, let some.
Wait, whoa, wait, stop. Is your job to tell people what to do about themselves? Or stand up to people? Like, we know you're a security guard, but is like, what is telling somebody about themselves have to do anything with your job, dog? I don't get it. Help me understand. Help me understand. Like, I don't fucking get it. And yes, I'm about to go back in that dungeon, but I have to find the right PI.
Excuse my French, jackass, okay, that don't care nothing about what's going on here. Okay? Come in there and do whatever he wants to do because he looks good or because he talks like he got all this confidence. Or she.
Did he just really try to say that he or she, like, we don't know you're talking about somebody at your job, Leroy? Like, you're literally talking about somebody at your job. Like, we know this, man. The way you're talking about an incident. You even said that you're talking about an incident. Don't try to hide it. Nah, dog. Don't try to hide it. Let's continue.
If it had been she, it would have even been worse.
Why would it have been worse that a woman is talking with confidence? Let's continue.
There is a reason why we have these parties. And the parties are more than just Republican and Democrat. You have...
Wait! He was talking about that. Literally, did he just skip that shit for like 15 minutes? Well, 10 minutes? Going from political parties to talking about shit at his job? Like, what did that non sequitur have to do with Democrats and Republicans? I don't know. I'm responding to this shit, so I go off on tangents. But he is literally having a video talking about a topic. Let's continue.
Several parties within the Republican and several parties within the Democrats. All Democrats don't want gay marriage. All Democrats don't want,
Okay, watch for a hot take. I don't want gay marriage. I don't want straight marriage. At least not in the realm of the public sector. I don't know. But I think we should all be able to get a contract with marriage and to be able to dissolve it without having to pay the state to fucking file it. Make it a voluntary situation. And maybe that's just me because I feel that getting divorced is a fucking messy process that costs too much and in some cases can keep poor people together or legally together just because they don't have the money, the expendable money to have that divorce. Okay. Well, let's continue.
For example, there's a lot of Christians in the Democratic Party who are not down with the whole gay thing, and when when the Democrats are talking about the whole gay thing, they just, yeah, we voted for him, but let's kind of like turn our back this way a little bit.
Okay, cool. So if you want to really talk about this, we want to talk about the politics of it. Yeah, there are people who don't. Democrats aren't a monolith. I should know. I vote with Democratic policies, but when you ask me, they're not progressive enough. Like, seriously. Like, my Sandere actually believed this, that, you know, you'll see him come in the chat and you'll see him say, like, this stupid shit. Hello, Jill. But that's not what it means to be in a political party. Now, D-Roy, if you actually want to, if you want to join me and say that maybe we shouldn't have multiple, we should have more than two-party system, I'm all for it, dog. Let's fucking address the issue with the electoral college, where you have to have 270, and which causes a lot of compromises to only two parties. If you want to actually do that, I'm all for it, man. Because here's the thing. You're right. The Democratic Party isn't a monolith. Neither is the Republican Party. The Republican Party usually tend to be more of the people who would just bow their heads and just follow what's been told because, reasons. But none of the parties are a monolith. So if you want to join with me on that, then cool. We can actually do ranked choice voting. We can actually try to deal with the fact that a lot of the debates that are held for the primary, just like the Democratic primary, the way they set the debates up by the Democratic National Committee. If you want to actually address that, that's cool. We can have that conversation. But something tells me you don't mean that. You mean that there are Christians in the Democratic Party that, tolerate some shit because they're not fucking heartless and sell out to corporations who believe that poor people should just die. But let's continue.
We didn't really vote for that, though. We voted for him, but we didn't vote for that. I've had this argument constantly with Christian friends of mine, especially the ones that are black. They think that they gotta vote Democrat, or it's a slap in the face to the black race if you don't vote Democrat.
It is. Oh my fucking God. You're old enough to fucking realize this. There was a Southern strategy. Two heads of the Republican National Committee had to apologize for the Southern strategy, where they actively targeted races in the South in order to keep power and prosecuted a war on drugs that, one, target black folks and white folks that like to do weed. It is literally documented. Pat Buchanan, who fucking authored it, literally came out and said we did it and we sorry because they saw the shit that happened. And so yes, black folks feel that if you vote for the Republican Party, then you're being disrespectful. Yes. Because people aren't stupid. And the fact that, Republican parties is sold out to corporations. Shit, most of the Democratic Party is too. But at least they try to put on more social issues and look for just a better social contract with everybody else. But it's just like, don't you see that, D-Roy? Don't you see that, man? I know you're smart enough to see that. But let's continue.
And what do you know about the Democratic Party that you think that it's the party for black people? You don't. Okay?
No, dog, you don't. Like, it's all this projection. I know I have a green screen, but he's doing a lot more projecting than I do. I looked into the policies of the Republican Party. I see how they want tax cuts for everybody but poor people and even working class people now. And they want to cut and cut and cut to the bone for everybody except for the rich. That's why I don't support the Republican Party. I literally have a reason. But because you can't comprehend some of the things that other people actually see because you don't have any fucking empathy. I'm not saying pity, but you don't have any fucking empathy for anybody other than yourself and what you believe is right. Then, oh, you have no reason to hate the Republican Party. You should go Republican. All because, God damn it, all because you don't get it. Like, for real, you actually have this. I don't get why you don't understand that people know more than you do. God, let's continue.
But the thing is, I stumbled across this video. Also today about let my thoughts catch up for a second. It'll come to me.
Dude, you're talking directly into a camera. Fuck, say what you want about me. Say the fact that I am playing a video game. But these are your fucking thoughts, D-Roy. How come you couldn't get them together before you started the fucking video? And you're 11 minutes in. If we wait for your thoughts to catch up with you, we'll be here all day. Thank you. I'll be here all night now. Anyway. Shit. Let's continue.
Oh, come on. I hate when my mind looks like that. I just got done watching it. 3 videos on it, basically.
Insert you forgot because you old joke here. And yeah, we're going to leave it at that. But let's continue.
Oh, I got it. I was watching the Young Turks. And I saw a clip where Jink, whatever his name is. Okay? It's not pronounced the way it's spelled. It's spelled Sink, but that's not what it is. C-E-N-K, but that's not what it's spelled. Because he's not an American, okay? But
this fucking racist trope about people that don't look like you aren't American, dude, your bigotry is showing. Like, for real. That's bigoted as hell. Because his name is different. He's not an American. Nationalized citizens are American, dog. Let's just be fucking honest. If you're nationalized, you did the steps to become a citizen through the naturalization process, you're an American. Whether you agree with somebody's political views or not, they're fucking American. Now, I don't believe I'm saying this, but let's listen to more of D-Roy's point without nitpicking him about this shit. Because I watched the video. I watched the video in question that he's talking about. But we're gonna hear what D-Roy has to say without interrupting him much.
They was running their mouth, and this jink, he said something about some guy that was a Republican in his views towards voting for Trump. He complained about Middle Eastern people, and he said, "Why can't they remove their rags from their heads when they come to our country?" No.
Okay, no, I can't let this go. I can't let this go. So here's my problem, and this is this is like, okay. So I'm gonna actually say some words that people may find offensive. Before 9/11, there was a slur that I know he actually grew up with because he's old enough. I'm old enough to remember the slur. Instead of saying Middle Eastern or instead of saying Muslim, it used to be a slur called Arab. It was a slur that was used for people that look as if they're from Middle Eastern descent. And that was supplanted by the slur, which isn't a specific region of the world, Muslim. And when you want to say it different, you say Middle Easterner. But that's exactly what happened. And there, other slurs are in there like towel heads and stuff like that. This is some of the things that a lot of people grew up with. And I'm sorry, the guy who was making a point literally said, like, he literally had an issue where, one, most of the people who they think are wearing a turban or things of that nature aren't Muslims. They're Sikhs. And actually, I'm in Chicago. I'm in the Chicagoland area where there's actually a Sikh temple out here, not too far from me. But it was the same kind of issues, the same kind of prejudice, where people were actually thought that they were going to, somebody actually shot up a Sikh temple, and they thought because they had, the head wraps, that they were Muslims. Like, that was disgusting as shit. And a lot of people fall for that bullshit. A lot of people fall for that bullshit. And the point that Jank was trying to make was that you don't even know who you hating. You just hate somebody because you think they're different. And that shows the ignorance of these people. There is literally a convention called Trump Stock where people go to it like it's Woodstock and worship at the great orange throne of the buffoon. And that's not okay. But let's continue.
You don't know that's called. You don't know what that's called. There's a name for that. Rag. I agree. But you don't know what it's called. There's a name for it. You don't know what it's called. Now, the women, when they wear it, it's either the burqa or the hajji. But the guys, they wear one too, It's,
And this is the shit that I'm talking about. The Sikhs are not Muslim. Damn, you got a computer. You can look this shit up. What's it called? Look, watch. Watch what I do, D-Roy. Watch what I do. Pull this up. What do you call a Sikh's Head wear. I can't pronounce it. Well, it's a Turban, but you know I can't pronounce it in the original language. But okay, that's how you look the shit up, D-Roy. What you're doing is being openly bigoted because it's not what you, it's not your norm. So it must, you gotta denigrate it. I wonder what would happen if somebody was to do that to you. But let's continue.
It's different. It's called something else. But because you don't know what it is, does that make you a bad racist person? First of all, because you don't know what the name of it is, so you say rag, that rag on your head or whatever. Okay, look here.
I mean, and I just want to actually go back to this because not to spread it, but there is another slur that people use that's really tied to the rag thing. And it goes to different grooming habits that people in the Middle East and Near East and East actually have that are different from us. I'm not going to go into that, but that's the terminology. That's one of the reasons why they use that, and that's tied into that. And it makes no fucking sense that D-Roy doesn't understand why it's offensive, other than being actively ignorant about what's going on. He is actively ignorant about what's going on. The fuck? Let's continue.
We're Americans. When we go over to their country, do they know everything about us and why we dress the way we do and all like that? No. Neither do they care. Okay? So, boom. Red flag number one. Okay? Two.
Usually, when Americans go over to their country, it's never from a place of, hey, I just want to go out there and live in your country and actually be. I don't know the best way to say it. I never want to. It's never from a place of I want to go to your country and actually learn your culture, learn your different, learn your um, learn your way of life. No, with the most recent expenditures of American time in different countries in the Middle East, it's for motherfucking conquest. It is literally for conquest. And that's not good. That is not fucking good. And of course, we're not over there to actually learn how someone's way of life is. We're over there to conquer. And that's, of course, if you feel that your culture is best and you're over there to conquer, you're not going to treat people as well as you probably should. But, you know, let's continue, right?
They were saying that this dumb behind. He says, "Oh man, if there's anybody that makes me want to scream, it's him." Okay. He says, uh, he says, the whole point of America is freedom. That's why they can come over here and wear whatever they want to wear and practice any religion they want to.
Actually, no. Dude, again, I watched the video. He didn't say it makes me upset because of that. He literally said it makes him upset because all these people sit back and talk about how America is great, but they never want to actually partake in the freedom, other people to partake in the freedom that they have with America. They always say America is about freedom and all this other great shit, but they never want anybody else to partake in that freedom. They want to say freedom is to bow your head and do what I tell you. That's the freedom that a lot of these guys want to partake in. God damn it. This bitch is killing everybody. And that was one of my best throws. But let's continue.
Aha. Let me tell you something. That is the biggest problem we are having. Everybody can come into this country and do whatever they want to do. We can go over to their country and do what we want. Within good reason. Within good reason. I agree that nobody should be able to go to anybody's country and do what they want to do.
First off, no one is coming over here and doing what they want to do. Except for some of the people who already live here. Like the fucking president who's trying to effectively have a dictatorship. But no one else is doing that, dog. Secondly, that's not how this works. That is not how this works. You're upset that people have other ideas other than yourself. And I get that. I get that you feel that the way you believe should be sacrosanct above everybody else. Because if somebody believes differently, then it threatens your whole person. It threatens what you expect things to be, because your belief isn't absolute. America was founded on, thieves, robbers, and murderers, but it was also founded on the principle of people should be able to come over here and live a life where they can actually they can have a measure of freedom. That was the nature of this place. That is what America actually stood for, and still should stand for today. The fact that you believe that it should be different because you feel that somebody isn't respecting your proof of dominance, that your culture is better, what you believe is better. It's fucking ridiculous. That's fascist shit. That's what fascists say, that they should conform to what we want no matter what. I mean, like, it sounds like the shit that, and not too many people are going to get this reference, but it sounds like the shit that you heard Zuko talk about, how when he was confronting his father about how the Fire Nation actually tells people, "Oh no, it's great. We're just helping the world, and we're gonna change the world because reasons." And it's just like, that's not how this works, dog. That's not how this works. For you to sit back and say that they're disrespecting us because they're bringing their culture over to us, and they should actually follow our rules. And I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna actually say this. Them giving up their religious garment is like an American walk, like somebody American walking around in a different culture. American walking around in a different culture, just start naked. Like, just, I'm walking around naked because it's like giving up something like that to them. And I'm taking it to the extreme, but it's saying that my way of life, what I feel comfortable in myself, is it's just important to me. And for you to actually denigrate that because it makes you feel weird, well, that's your problem, not theirs. It's not like they're doing something like human sacrifice that your God recommends, you know. That's not what happened. But you're having an issue with it because reasons. But let's continue.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I really do. I agree with that. Let me see something here. I want to read my comment that I gave these dumb knuckleheads. Let me go to my history here. I want to read the comment I said. Not dumb video. Well, it ain't dumb. It's YouTube. You know, some things about YouTube. Here we go.
So, we're just going to escape the irony of the fact that you leaving a comment actually boosts the reach of the video, that you are so mad that it's happening. You leaving a comment, and this is for every fucking knucklehead that think I'm gonna downvote your video. I'm gonna make it seem like your video is bad because I just disagree. You know that actually helps videos. Like, seriously, it helps videos. Every time you downvote a video, it's engagement and it boosts the video up. It boosts it up. And it makes the video more popular. I have a video on my channel right now. Right now. So many people have hate watched that video. It's just like, wow. Like, for real? You're hate watching this video because I said something about your precious, precious little cheerleader, and now it hurts your feelings. And I sit back and engage with these people like, it matters to me. It actively gets me excited that people get so mad about a video of somebody that they're saying that is quite literally saying bigoted or this shit that is offensive. It gets me halfway wrecked because, you know, it shows what type of piece of shit human you are. It does. It doesn't worry me, oh, my downvote video ratio is just super bad. No, it doesn't. It actually makes me laugh. It literally makes me laugh, and it's just one of those things. It's like, you idiot. No wonder why you falling for this bullshit. Because I can do the same thing that these other idiots are doing for money. Am I saying that some of these guys that's on the alt-right or alt-light aren't true believers? Yeah, of course. Some of them are. But a lot of them are actually feeding you shit to get rich. I'm doing it to get a reaction out of you. And you downloading the video or leaving a comment and then actually going back to check the video gives somebody else another fucking watch. So go ahead, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Let's continue.
I think it was it this one? Wait, was it? Let me look at the comment section here because I just put it in there. This is video. My video, my comment should be right on top. I think this is it. Oh, this ain't it. Whatever.
Dude, did that... Look at how self-centered that is. I just put the comment there, so it should be right on top. You're not the only one who leaves a comment under Young Turks who has like 10 billion views. They even have a commercial where they have more views than the population of the world. Or the current population of the world. One video. One video. You get hundreds of thousands of views in the day. But you special because your comment. Mr. Life Applications Officer. But let's continue.
Dang it. It must have been the one before. It's been the one after that. Whatever they was talking in there, BS. Alright. Let's try this. Oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, wait a minute. Now, y'all remove my comments? Let me try this.
Mm. Let me do something smart so I won't have to use the cheat again.
Chris Warren. Well, maybe it's in there. This is it. Look at that. Yeah, this is it. Here it is. I'm way down here. Okay. Wow, that many people applied. Oh, okay. These people all applied after me on this. This is like an old video, but they all applied. Okay. This is what I said. There was just
The video's not old. The video is only like a couple days old, actually. And that's kind of sad that the video itself is only like a couple of days old. I don't know. Again, I watch a lot of fucking YouTube. But let's continue.
black woman on there, and you know, here we go with that Democratic crap again. You got Mr. Turkish behind, if that's where he's from.
Okay, so how do I say this? Oh shit, Superman! Thank you for subscribing, dog. Thank you. Oh, you're subscribed to my YouTube. Okay, thank you. So, let's just talk about this. Brooke, that's on the Young Turks, is actually a Christian. And in this whole thing, she made very intelligent points. But again, in watching that video, I think D-Roy is mad because, one, he doesn't have that large of an audience. And two, well, let me get number two.
Bro, Jink in the middle, and you got a black woman on his left and a black guy on his right. And all they're doing is just like, oh, feeding into the topic. You can tell they really, 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 really don't know or care about the subject. They just know what they better not say.
First of all, the only thing that they bet not say, quote unquote, is just cursing because the YouTube algorithm. And the fact is, because of the YouTube algorithm, they may be demonetized for, cursing. Now, notice I actually just named one of the people who is in their video. Now, the other person is J.R. Jackson, somebody who's been with the Young Turks for like a long time. And quite honestly, the sad part about it is I don't think that D-Roy can comprehend that the Young Turks doesn't hold their host, especially Jank, doesn't hold his host to always agreeing with him, or like literally they have like one of the persons who disagree with him the most on air is literally the person who he gave reins over to have editorial control. And I know D-Roy would actually see this as weird and strange that, you give somebody who argues with you editorial control. But that just shows the weakness of D-Roy, where he doesn't understand that people can argue with you and still respect you. People can question you and still respect you. But no, D-Roy has this thing where he feels that you question me, there's a problem. That's D-Roy's thing. Like, D-Roy doesn't want to be questioned. D-Roy doesn't feel that he feels that he's the boss and he shouldn't have to explain himself. And not everybody has that whole mentality, D-Roy. Not everybody believes that they can go unchallenged. I'm sorry, D-Roy. I know that you feel that if somebody questions you, there's a problem, but not everybody is small of a person that you are. Quite literally. But let's continue.
Okay? They just know what they better not say. But they know what they're allowed to say because they're on the Young Turks. And this is what I said, relating their comments with Jinx. When Jinx said, well, again, this is a nation of immigrants, and the whole point of America is freedom, 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 freedom. Everything is freedom, okay? It's all about freedom. And then, they threw Black Lives Matter in there out of nowhere. I guess you got to throw Black Lives Matter in there because you're surrounded by two black people. So it actually was the girl that brought up Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. Jake didn't even bring up Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And the fact is, ignorant people like D-Roy don't actually get what the phrase Black Lives Matter means. It literally means Black Lives Matter too. Because people were tired of seeing African Americans who are unarmed killed by police because of a systemic racist issue that is perpetuated because of racist ass policies. But let's let D-Roy finish. Why? See if I can keep her at bay.
How does Black Lives Matter have anything to do with somebody coming in here with a rag on his head? Oh my God, let me read my comment.
It matters because it shows specifically that it is not a normal person. There is no such thing as normal. There's no such thing as specifically American. The advocacy of different groups to advocate for more people that are different from the standard American, that's what Black Lives Matter means. But you'll never, D-Ray will never understand that shit. Let's continue.
Black people are not special. This is stuff that I can't say in people's face. Black people are not special. They matter like everybody else.
Oh, wow. Wow. Like, for real. You totally missed the whole point of that discussion. All the way through. It's like D-Roy doesn't get there was a devaluation of African American lives because of a lot of the systemic issues that we see happen over the course of, over the course of the history of this country. There was a devaluation. And the fact that you don't understand this shows your ignorance of different people's issue and your it's all about me fucking mentality and attitude that colors, no pun intended, your view of the world. Like, for real, dog. For real. What else can we actually tell you so you can actually understand this shit? But let's continue.
Let me tell you something. Get it in your head. White people and black people alike. You need to get this in your head. And I'm going to say something real important here before I finish. Black people are not special. They matter like everybody else. This is where Republicans and Democrats alike fail. Even Donald Trump fails on this. Now, in Donald Trump's case, because the Democrats do it prevalently. I mean, they do it like, it'll be going on until the day I'm dead and gone and my grandkids are dead and gone. Okay? Democrats do it constantly. But Donald Trump had to do it if he wants, because things are so fallen state that he had to do it. Okay?
This is what I mean about people like him that can't have an original thought or take any responsibility of him in and of itself. Why are you using Jesse Lee Peterson's talking point? It's like you just sit back and nod your head because you feel that this person has a higher post on the totem pole than you, so what they say is right. And that's your problem with liberals. They don't fucking listen to you just writ large. And you know what? No one should just listen to you writ large. And you just take your word as writ script. That's not how life works, dog. Well, that's not how life should work. If you need somebody to just believe you without questioning what you say, it shows that, you know what? Maybe you don't believe your points as much as you claim that you do. But let's continue.
If he wants any black votes at all, he had to do it to a certain extent. Let me ask a question before I say this. What if you never said the word black or African American? What if you just used the term people of all color in everything? Well, people of all color are going to come into the White House today, and I'm going to go and stop violence in their communities. People of all...
The problem with that, D-Roy, is the nationalist, racist conversation that words that Donald Trump used conversation that is used by people like Donald Trump purposely excludes other people. It's neo-fascism 101, where you say this group is a target, this group is the problem, And no matter what, they're the problem. Some of them are decent people, I believe, but a majority of them are not. Where you actually set a belief that a majority of these people are not. That's the problem, D-Roy. And if you start being all inclusive and shit, you start to lose that out group. And once you lose that out group, then people start looking at, or hopefully people start looking at some of the other problems that need to be taken care of, like income inequality. So, no, it will never be with neo fascists where they say, hey, let's all stick together because they need somebody to blame. But let's continue.
All colors want to come in here today, and I'm going to help them with health care. People of all colors and races are going to come in here today, and I'm going to help them with getting jobs. I'm going to go in their specific communities, which they shouldn't have their own daggone communities in the first place, Trump.
All right. D-Roy, dog, you're old enough to understand what redlining was. There was an active push to keep African Americans out of certain communities. It was actively done by the federal government, no less. Redlining was a thing. That's why people live in so desperate, whatever the word is, separate communities, because of redlining, because of a system of prejudices and racist rhetoric that kept people apart. Hell, you can actually make a case that that's a reason why there is less generational wealth, because between African Americans and people who aren't African Americans is because the federal government, through the GI Bill and other policies, actually advocated for more Caucasian people to have homes. And they left black folks to redline. Not for just 1 or 2 years. It was a generational policy. And with the drug war, a lot of that generational wealth was wiped out due to the fact that a lot of people didn't have many roots that like they did before. A lot of black folks didn't recover from the Great Depression like it was for white folks, because of redlining, because of a lot of other good shit, a lot of other shit that just affected, specific races. It didn't happen for everybody. But then, too, you'll probably blame it saying that it's their fault. Let's continue.
And all the rest of y'all Democrats. They shouldn't have their own daggone communities. Every community is an American community. There's no community that belongs to the blacks, the Chinese, the Koreans. See, we got to stop this garbage. This is the problem.
Great. Let's get rid of these fascists. Let's get rid of the fascists first. Let's get rid of the people who say they want to just defend whiteness or Western culture. Take that first step first. Let's continue.
Problem we're having. But this is the thing. All parties do it. Both parties do it. What they do is they tickle the ears of black people. Trump is wrong for it, even though he had to do it. But he's wrong for it, even though he had to do it. Because if you don't do it...
Let's just talk about the reason why he did it. He did it to get an out-group for Hispanics. That's just it. He didn't do it because he was trying to trick the voters to say, well, we're going to get, more black folks, more things. He did it because he already had an outgroup that he was trying to facilitate, who he's trying to keep you hating. That's why he did it. But let's continue.
But they don't think you're looking out for them. You always have to like take a flash moment where you put black people on a pedestal. Okay, you got to put black people on a pedestal where they don't think you care about them. But
So it's called trying to get the vote. Like seriously, that's what this is called. He was trying to get the vote. Like I don't know what else to tell you, man. It's like you're mad that politicians are pandering towards specific voters. But let's continue.
even after you put them on the pedestal, then they go back and calling you a racist. Because this is the thing. No matter how much someone puts you on a pedestal, everybody in this country has to work for a living.
Wait, no, stop. Because, stop. Please stop. Because it wasn't that he was called a racist because somebody just decided to call him that. No, literally, when it came down to the Central Park 5, he still was pushing bigoted and racist things where he said they should have stayed in jail because they were already criminals anyway. Please stop. As somebody who you want to talk about politics, why don't you start following fucking more information in politics other than just I like this person because he has a fucking R around his name. The fact that he says people from Africa are from shithole countries. Please stop. You can be better than that, D-Roy. You can definitely be better than that, D-Roy. That's racist shit. To actually say that the first African-American person who was elected president, and he wasn't even the first African-American person. The first half African-American person was elected president for the country, that he couldn't have been American. That's racist, D-Roy. You know it is. If somebody accused you of not being born in America because you can have a quarter of a way speak with proper syntax and dialogue for English, and somebody says you can't be an American, you would have a fucking issue. You know you would have an issue. But yeah, no, he definitely was pandering. But people saw through that bullshit. But let's continue.
No matter how much somebody puts you on a pedestal, everybody has to, and that's the key to everything, everybody has to have order and system, a custom, a culture. Okay, we have to be together on this in order for it to work. And that's not what anybody wants. But the truth about being together is we all can be together. And Democrats think that everybody can be together. If we just let everybody do what they want to do, like Jink here. Just let everybody do what they want to do.
Mind you, this is somebody who is... His original conversation when he first started was talking about how the Democrats want to do an impeachment because Trump broke the law. But reason, right? Reason.
Regardless. And then we can all be together. But see, that's not reality. That is not reality. We're not equal. And we never will be. And it's natural that we're not.
The racism is real with this guy. Humans are equal. Every human has the same value of life as everybody else. Now, we have different experiences. We have different income levels. But that does not make you better than me, motherfucker. It doesn't. It doesn't. My experiences with life doesn't make me better than you. That's not how this works, dog. That's definitely not how this works. The fact that you would even suggest this shit shows me how low you think of yourself. That's what it comes off like. You have a low opinion of yourself. But let's continue.
White people and black people are not equal. They come from two different sides of the tracks. One has more education than the other. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. One was going through the civil rights movement while the other one was raising their kids to stay out of it.
Wait, what? Does this man really think it's noble that, quote unquote, people stayed out of the civil rights movement? Does he really think it's noble? Does he really think it was a benefit that some people taught their children that you shouldn't fight for civil rights? Does he think that's a positive? Does he really think that's a positive? He didn't do that, did he? He didn't say that, did he? That it's positive that people taught their kids not to fight for civil rights. D-Roy, how fucked up are you? Let's continue.
One was working and owning businesses and real estate, while the other one was looking for reparations.
I'm just going to point out the irony here that somebody who isn't black. No. Let's just talk about representatives of Elijah Cummings. And he found out he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And my concerns go out to him. But because he stood up to people, he became a congressman. The other congressman that just passed too, he stood up and people knew who he was. And let's talk about, people who taught their kids to go to the civil rights movement. Let's talk about this one college kid that actually marched with Dr. King for civil rights. That this fucking Uncle Ruckus is actually complaining about. Who grew up from a neighborhood where people used to have tattoos of numbers on their arms because of prejudice of fascists. Somebody who is fought for 40 fucking years to make sure that people live in dignity. That is currently one of the leaders of the Democratic leadership in the Senate. Let's talk about that. How this person actually, started a movement that a lot of young folks are actually getting behind because they're tired of seeing people being hurt for profits. Let's talk about that shit. Want to have that discussion? Somebody who may ascend to the highest office in the land only to give the power back to the fucking people. We can have that discussion. You don't want to have that discussion? Oh. Oh. Because it doesn't fit your narrative. Let's continue.
Okay? One was brought up to feel like he's the beacon of America. He's the light in America. He is America.
And this is the problem. This is full-blown racism, D-Roy, that you have internalized in and of yourself to say that white people are American, no one else is. Like, D-Roy, dog, do you get the big irony penis that is smacking you in the face? You are literally saying that Caucasian people are the picture of what an American is. It's as if you don't fucking understand exactly the point that a lot of people actually make, including Black Lives Matter. I don't believe I got 20 minutes left of this, and I'm at a 1.5 speed, and that still is going to feel like forever. But let's continue.
The other one was brought up thinking that he's a menace to society. No matter what good he ever does, he's still a menace to society because he doesn't look or have something that somebody else has.
And he's letting a mask slip. Oh my God, like for real. For real, D-Roy, for real. That's the problem. So many African Americans have been told that because they don't look or fit in what is considered normal culture, then they can't partake in some of the same privileges other people get. So much so that it has been systematically developed that if you look a certain way, then you must be criminal. It's not about just having. It's about how you have a system like stop and frisk in New York where they criminalize walking around being a black and brown person. But yet, some of the worst crimes were going on fucking Wall Street. But yet and still, they are respectable because they work on Wall Street and they look like they're respectable. But somebody that's walking on the bad parts of Harlem or the other parts of Brooklyn or shit like that, then they must be up to something. They look suspicious. So you can stop them and question them and frisk them. And yet and still, you want to say that it's black folks' fault? You're going to really say that, D-Roy? You're going to really say that? But let's continue.
So there is a big difference. And then when you get to the point of where, and this is where it really, this is where you really separate the Christians from the sinners. And this is where you really separate the men from the boys.
God damn, stay on one motherfucking topic. First it was about politics, and then it was about Christians, and then it went about race, and God damn. Make more than one video. If you can only talk about a subject for 5 minutes at a fucking time, make more than one video. Or do a fucking podcast, excuse me. Do that shit. But don't sit back. Like, damn it. I feel like you're making me stupider by listening to this shit. And my brain is already scatterbrained. Well, let's continue.
Okay? when we get to that point to where we have freedom to choose what we want to do, okay? What?
All right. So this is where the whole, not really a Marxist, but understand Marxist principles actually come into play, and the whole Keynesian mindset comes into play for me. If you give people shitty choices, and you literally give people shitty choices, and sit back and says, "Aha, you made a bad choice." They don't necessarily have freedom. Do you have freedom? Do you have the freedom that you want to actually say to have a better fucking job than what you have? I'm pretty sure if you haven't already bought into the bullshit that, your job is great, I'm pretty sure if somebody to say that you're an upset man on the internet, and you're just making a life choice to be that upset about it, you would look at them fucking crazy. I bet you would. I could almost guarantee that you would, D-Roy. Because that's what you are. You're an upset man on the internet that's mad because people are making choices that you feel that you couldn't make. Now, I'm not going to go as far as other people who review you, which is fun to watch, and say that you may have some repression issues. But come on, D-Roy. It sounds like you're just mad because people are choosing to make decisions that you're too afraid to make in of yourself. It sounds as if, D-Roy, that you have an issue where you're upset that people aren't following every fucking rule that you think that should be followed, and are making different life choices than what you make. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if you feel that you're hurt that somebody is choosing to do something different than what you would do. Sorry that you're hurt about that. Not really sorry, but I'm trying to be understanding. But that's not how life works, D-Roy. In no way, shape, form, or fashion, that's how life works. That because you feel the thing is bad, then somebody's decision is just as poor as yours is. That's not how life works, man. I get it. You're mad because people have different decisions than what you have. I get that shit. But the fact that they're not directly hurting you, or they're not causing you any harm, other than the I don't know what's the best way to say it, other than the idea that you may not be right with your choices. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like, your choices are your choices. Which you missed out in life because you felt that you had to follow a certain dogma or a certain belief. That's your fault, dog. Some people reject the choice. Some people literally reject the choice. And the fact that you aren't strong enough to reject that choice, that shows more on you than them. But let's continue.
What choice did we make? What choice did we make? What choice of philosophy do we study? What education do we call good education? What religion did we choose to study and be a part of? What everything from who we hang out with and who we go to school with and what we're learning all the way to the music that's coming out of our mouth. Where we get it from. These things are important. And y'all, most of y'all, think that it's not, but it is.
Alright, cool. Like, for real? if you really want to say that yeah, um, if you really want to say that media has an influence on people, I will grant you that because media does have an influence on people. If it didn't, to quote somebody else, we wouldn't have marketing. But it does. Media does influence us altogether. It's propaganda. It is. Sometimes it affects you. Sometimes it doesn't affect you as strongly as other people want it to. Sometimes it you can recognize it. Sometimes you don't. Media affects everybody. As much as you don't want to believe it, media affects you too. Shit. Shit. That came out of nowhere. But let's continue.
You singing a song that you can't be still on the bus. And the song got cuss words in it. This song is calling everybody bitches and niggas and all this kind of stuff. And you, oh.
Okay. 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 Like, I don't. Okay. I don't get. Like, quite literally, that's. I think he just wanted to say the words, to be honest with you. I think he wanted to have the opportunity to say it. But, okay. Like, I refute that he says it and he feels that he has to use the words instead of using the B word or the other slur. But it's just like, yes, I got away with saying it. Oh shit, I'm super cold. That's the whole sense and vibe that I get from this motherfucker. But let's continue.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm super cold, but that shit. I had to stop for a minute and laugh at that shit. Like, really, D-Roy. Really. I don't know what to tell you, man. You look like a Star Native food with that one. Let's continue.
I'm lost. What does that have to do with freedom?
It's the freedom of expression, dog. That's what it has to do with everything. It's freedom of expression. That's something that we're guaranteed in the Constitution as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Um, I don't know what else to say, man. Found my body. Ah, run away. Where is that motherfucker at? Okay, cool. There we go. Ah! But let's continue.
What does that have to do with morality? What does that have to do with being a father? Or a good husband or a good wife?
It actually doesn't have anything to do with morality if you let the shit affect you to the point where you're harming other people. It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with morality. Like, quite literally, it doesn't. I not. It's sad to say. I think D-Roy actually has it where he believes that everything that you do should edify. I don't know. It should edify, or like it should be always for the glory of God or something like that. I think this is what D-Roy actually believes. And you know it says it in the Bible, but it's like cult like behavior to actually believe that shit. But let's continue.
What does that have to do with being an American?
The fact that America, you can have freedom of expression as long as you don't hurt people. That's what it has to do with being American. Like, I'm confused. Like, is this a trick question? Like, really? Is it like a trick question for real? I don't understand. Please explain it to me, D-Roy. Like, I'm lost on this, dog. Help me out.
Let me read my comment. Black people are not special. They matter like everybody else, number one.
Oh my God. He went on a 10-minute rant and he still didn't finish his comment? Let's continue.
Americans go to the Middle East, number two. American women will often wear the burqa in respect for that country. I know this because Christians go to that country all the time. And even though wearing the burqa in the hajj is totally against their beliefs, they wear it in their country in order to preach to the people.
No, dog, that's not how this works. Literally, it is in the Bible where Paul says that women should cover their head. God damn, he's stupid. And God damn, he hasn't read his own Bible. The reason why it is literally in the Muslim religion is because they take it from Hebrew. Where it's actively suggested that women should cover their head. I don't know where, like, literally. It's almost as if he doesn't know this in the Bible. He may not know this in the Bible. Maybe I'm ascribing to him a level of competency that he does not have. But let's continue.
Even American soldiers, the women in the military, when they are camped out in inner city neighborhoods in these countries, they have to cover their head. That is the law. And even our military respects that law. When they're holding a gun, they respect.
Because it's the law. And unless you want to go in and overturn the country of an ally in a lot of cases, then you respect the law. It's almost as if there's a law in this fucking country about the country should not establish a religion. And you know what? We tell people that they aren't required to wear certain religious garbs. It's almost like that, D-Roy. But let's continue.
Respect that law. You take that helmet off your head, you got to put. Matter of fact, sometimes you got to wear the helmet over the burqa. You need to watch more news. You need to pay more attention. This black woman doesn't know another black woman that don't know nothing about the country that she lives in. And what country is this black woman?
Oh my God! Like, really? Somebody who does a national news program doesn't know anything about the country that they live in. Somebody who's actively does research and is part of the clip. And I forget that this is about a fucking Young Turks clip. D-Roy, Did you not listen to the video, dog? Or did you just do confirmation bias on what you feel was wrong? And now you're just you're believing that, hey, whatever they say is fucking wrong, no matter what. Let's continue.
Going to go to that's going to give her better. See, these white people, they can go to Russia. They can go to Europe. Okay? And there's others. Okay?
Did he just make an argument that somebody who was born in America should go back to a country that they've never been in because he disagrees with them? Did he just really make that argument? D-Roy, I disagree with you. Maybe you should go back to Africa. That's bullshit, dog. And I'm joking about it, but you're fucking serious about this. Somebody doesn't have what you feel is sufficient loyalty to be in the U.S., so maybe they should leave the U.S.? That's pretty close to the JQ. And that's not cool, because once you start coming up with questions like that, people tend to try to have solutions that are final. And that's never good. But let's continue.
White people got somewhere to go if they want to leave. Where your black man going to go? You want to go back to Africa? I'll stay here. Let me know when Africa becomes a true democracy or a true a nation of freedom.
There are nations in Africa that are free. There are democracies in the continent of Africa, in certain countries on the continent. By your logic and your disparagement, America is not a democracy, because most of the people that are looked after are oligarchs. If you want to have that conversation, but you don't want to have that conversation. You don't. Because it disrupts your narrative or what you feel is right. But let's continue.
Let me know. I'll come visit. I'll at least visit. Anyway, when Americans go to the Middle East, American women will often wear the burqa in respect for that country. And all religions are not accepted in those countries. So what are you talking about, Jake?
You're right, because they are theocracies where religion is ahead of a state. And you know why we don't do that in our country? Because, hear me out, there are some religions that grow more prolific than others. You can also say that some religions stagnate and don't grow as much. So do you really want to be on the wrong end of that conversation when a religion or people that you oppress becomes the majority? You don't want to be on the wrong end of that conversation. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. And the fact that you don't understand that leads me to believe that you feel that, well, it's even more evidence that you feel that your beliefs are right and anybody else that believes different is completely wrong, and you should shut them up because there's no way that they're right. But let's continue.
go again. Thinking that we owe everybody something. America owes everybody something. Why? Because it looks like we have more money, and it looks like we have the most power, and it looks like we're the biggest nation in the world. We're not really the biggest nation in the world because we're divided. How many of us are really?
Okay, so, oh my God. He doesn't realize the indictment that he's actually given. But let me just spell a couple things out, D-Roy. One, you're right. We are not the biggest nation in the world, just in square footage, or in population. Now, we may have the biggest economy in the world. That part is actually true, which I don't believe you actually really understood that. But we also, maybe we shouldn't go around and believe that we should be the world police, because there are certain responsibilities that come along with it, and we don't want those responsibilities. We just want the fucking title. And this is a problem that progressives actually try to fight against. But you wouldn't want that responsibility to not only be a certain way, but to live by a standard. Fuck, you don't even live by your own standards of being a life applications officer, because you would be just a better fucking human being. But let's continue. We're almost finished. Damn, 12 minutes.
And how many of us are something else? Our religions are not accepted in those countries. Everybody does what they want and gets what they want in our country, America. But we're the only country that gets this much disrespect. But we call it respect for foreign relations. No.
Just because somebody doesn't bow down to you, that's your problem. Because someone that doesn't bow down to you, you feel is disrespectful. How fucking dare you? Dog, how fucking dare you? Being understanding of somebody's culture, beliefs, religion, way of life, just because you don't agree with it, isn't disrespect. Let's continue.
No wonder nobody respects us. Because when we go over to their country, that's just like them two black knuckleheads that went over to China, and they was in the NBA. Okay, I don't.
They weren't in the NBA, dog. They were actually college students, and they did a shitty thing. Like, literally, they did a shitty thing because they felt we're Americans, we can do what the fuck we want, and they learned very quickly that they couldn't. Do you really want a totalitarian state like China? I don't think you do, dog. Where you can't have Winnie the Pooh, because that hurts somebody's fees. Maybe you want the result of it, but you don't really want to actually live through it if you're on the wrong end of that. But let's continue.
I don't get it. Like, everybody that's in the NBA makes at least $1 million a year. Okay, I mean, all these guys are loaded. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll accept that, because I'm not like, but like.
Dude, you are wrong. It depends on their skill level and what they actually do. There are people that's in the NBA on the practice team that don't make as nearly as amount of money as you think they do. But let's continue.
You cannot read about any NBA star, okay, without reading about millions of dollars. Okay, they're all worth millions of dollars.
Again, it's almost seems like jealousy more than anything. This just reeks of jealousy. Like, if I had their money, I wouldn't be doing this shit. This, like, literally reeks of jealousy. But let's continue.
That's what basketball sells. Millions of dollars. Okay. Same thing with football. Millions of dollars. Same thing with hockey. In the league. Okay. Millions of dollars. Okay. Those three sports, millions of dollars for each player. There's nobody in. If I remember correctly, there's nobody in there from the most lowest popularized to the highest popularized. Okay. Nobody in there is a thousandaire. They're all millionaires.
Why is it about money, dog? Like, seriously, you keep bringing up money, wealth, power, and status. Like, why is it about that? Like, for real. Now, mind you, you just made a point, like, not more than 10 minutes ago in this video that, you know, some people are seen as criminals or things of that nature, and they have a bad mentality. So maybe because of how they've been treated, maybe they have some fucked up ass mentality. But, you know, that's not real probably to you know. Also, let's just address this. How do I put it? Stop being so fucking jealous. Seriously. He always has this thing where he's jealous of people. Maybe of their money, maybe of their wealth, their, you know, status, their fucking height. But let's continue.
Okay? Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay? Tell me if I'm wrong, I'll accept that. Because I'm not going to pretend I know something I don't. But I've never.
Can I make the point about good? I'm not going to make that point. Let's continue.
Read about anybody in a football league, the basketball league, or the hockey league that wasn't a millionaire. Okay?
Again, because you don't read about it doesn't mean it's not true. Like, let's just be honest with this. It's like, because you don't read about it doesn't mean it's not true. That somebody may not have the same level as wealth as some of the superstars. That whole, you know, fallacy of incredulity, that shit is real, dog. But let's continue.
Got these millionaire knuckleheads. They're going to go to China and try to steal. NBA stars went into China and tried to walk out of the jewelry store with items. Now, I guess in this jewelry store, like, you know, here in America, you walk in a jewelry store, everything's behind the glass. They must have walked in one where you walk in and everything is on a, you know, and you know how people watch black people, man. I mean, if you've been down to tie your shoe, you are on camera, you are being watched because we are such a disgrace. Nobody trusts us. Black people.
Wait, didn't he just complain about how parents were raising their kids to believe that they're a menace to society, and yet he sits back and says this bullshit? This isn't even in America. That's the fucked up thing. This isn't even in America. Like, the fuck is wrong with you, dog? What the fuck is wrong with you? Let's continue.
People don't trust us. White people don't trust us. Chinese people don't trust us. And Indian people don't trust us. Nobody trusts us. If I go down to the bus stop, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. If I go down to the bus stop, people find it very, 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 very weird that anybody would speak to me that's of another race. And if a black person come up and speak to you, uh-oh, here we go, here they go, here they go.
The self-racism is astounding. It's fucking astounding of how he actually feels that black people, which includes himself, are always seen with the ire of criminality. That's not okay. That's not okay, dog. Do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need help? Because you're actively saying that people look at you like a criminal because you're black. And you're okay with it. Let's continue.
You know, Africans. Oh my God, Africans don't even speak to us. I gotta turn around. I gotta go out of my way, say hi. I gotta say good morning to each one. I gotta say good morning to all the lovely races when I go to the bus stop. Good morning. You know, how are you today? Nice weather we're having. You know, I got it. You know.
Do you talk to yourself too? Hold on, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Had to go pee.
But when you go to their country, you're faster to learn enough of their language so that you can communicate with them. And you, when you're in their country, you speak their language. There's a video on here on YouTube, a video channel here on YouTube where this black guy, he knows how to speak in 4 or 5 different languages. He's trying to be like a linguist or something. And he goes he goes anywhere. And he speaks their language to communicate with them. But how many people come here to the United States and they learn English perfectly so they can speak with us? No, the only reason why they learn English is so that they can get paid for it. They want paid for learning to speak English fluently. This guy's on vacation. He just...
There are people who learn to do shit, D-Roy, because they just have a love for learning. That's... To denigrate somebody else who doesn't do that, why haven't you learned a second or third language? Fuck, how come you haven't learned the original English language? Like, let's be honest with you. You don't speak the proper King's English. And this is coming from me, which I know outside of my call center voice, I literally talk how the fuck I want to. But you're sitting back. Let's continue.
Just wants to get a piece of fish. He's going to go in there and carry a conversation with this Chinaman who can barely tell him in English.
Did he just say... Did he...
The price of the fish. Or what kind of fish it is. Lucky this guy knows the language. He can make sure he's getting what he's paying for. Whereas right here, me and somebody at work was just talking about this a few hours ago. Where Chinese people get on the phone when I'm trying to order Chinese, and there's this misunderstanding in communication. Next thing you know, I got rice on top of rice, and it's like, oh, you know what? I got paid for it.
That when you pay for your food and it's not what you want, you have the right to say, this isn't what I want. Can you fix it, please? In a way where you respect the people who fix your fucking food, D-Roy. You have that right, dog. You can't do that. It isn't a bad thing. You can address an issue that you may have with people and how they may have incorrectly prepared your food. It's okay. It happens. Like, y'all thought I was gonna fall. But it's okay, dog. That's not a crucifying offense. Like, let's continue.
Because they think I ordered it because they don't understand what I'm talking about. I never ordered that. But now you want me to pay for it. So now I got to, like, cancel my whole order and go to another Chinese restaurant. And hopefully they'll get it right. And that's another thing. When I walk outside my door every day, I can understand what Trump is talking. You say, well, D-Roy Cruz, you don't know much about politics either, really? Let me tell you the first rule of politics. Walk out the door. That's the first rule of politics. Walk out the door.
No, that's not the first rule of politics. The first rule of politics are everywhere. That's literally what the first rule of politics. The guidelines of how you want to govern your life are governed by politics. The fact that you don't know that, dog, lets me know that you don't know much about politics. Let's continue.
Pay attention to what you see and what you hear. Walk outside your door. Pay attention to what you see and what you hear.
Star Metal!
Okay? Pay attention to YouTube.
Oh shit, Star Metal! I was looking for Star Metal and I got Star Metal. Explosive arrows. Yes, Star Metal, motherfucker. Yes, I fucking finally got some Star Metal. Yes. Fucking got some Star Metal. Fucking hey, yes. Come here, motherfucker. Let's look for some more Star Metal. Why D-Roy Cruz bitches and moan about this shit?
Pay attention at work. Pay attention when you get on the bus. When you're in traffic. Pay attention. Listen, I only got one ear. This ear don't work. I only got one ear. And I'm listening.
No wonder why he doesn't hear. He only hears every other word. Because he can't fucking listen. Because he can't fucking hear. But let's continue.
To everybody. See, I might say a lot of stuff. And a lot of people who come to my channel might call me a bigot, but I listen to all of y'all. I listen to the gays. I listen to their, there's people on here who say, well, Cruz, you're homoerotic. What were you doing going to this channel and saying this because I listen to everybody for the very fact that you call me a bigot. So I want.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, dog. It doesn't make sense that. Okay. If you listen to him, I get listening is not the same as like understanding, but that's no, D-Roy. That's not what people. That's not what people mean, man. Let's continue.
I want to make sure before I bust you, that I.
You want to make sure before he busts you. Dude, you should like watch your phrasing, man. Oh god. I'm fucking. Oh god. Finally found some star metal. Thank you. Let's look if I see some other star metal. Let's continue.
Listened to you and heard your side of the story. I read an article again confirming what I've already seen on YouTube. The gay people are looking.
It's almost as if it's confirmation bias. It's almost as if it's confirmation bias. But nah, D-Roy wouldn't believe in confirmation bias, would he? Let's continue.
For straight people. They're not looking for gays. Most gays looking for straight people. That is the ultimate sacrifice of being gay. That is the ultimate joy and pleasure of being gay.
Wait, what? I thought the ultimate thing of having a relationship with somebody is to have a relationship, not to, like, what? Like, seriously, dog? Seriously. Like, I don't understand that. Maybe you're gonna explain, but let's continue.
Converting people, not being with the people that are already like yourself, that you have that in common with. Sure, there's all this gay sex going on, and gays meeting gays, and that's the whole point of the flag, so the gays could communicate with other gays and all that kind of stuff. But but behind closed doors, when the conversation.
I'm sorry, convincing, like, I don't, is this something that I just don't get, that he's talking in code from his secret knowledge about something? Because I don't get it. It's hard enough for me to be enticed by a woman who I find unappealing, but that's a woman I find unappealing. The gender that I'm attracted to. But nobody's going to convince me to like penis. I'm sorry. No one is going to convince me. Now, there is a spectrum of sexuality that some people actually fall under, that they don't want to admit to because they feel as if they are not being a quote unquote man or not being masculine or something of that nature. But no one is actually. Damn. No one is actually saying that gay man is looking to turn a straight man. That would be. It would seem counterproductive. It seems like energies can be going somewhere else. I'm sorry, dog. That's. It sounds like something that you came up with in your head. And we're not gonna say that it's a plan or anything of that nature. It just sounds like something that you just imagine is true because you need to imagine that it's true. I hate to say it like that, but it's just like, why would somebody say they want to turn another man gay? And we're obviously not gonna we're gonna leave alone the whole thing about men actually making a joke about them turning women straight, lesbian straight. We're gonna leave that joke alone. But the fact that I don't know, it just seems ridiculous to a point that you would actually have this whole opinion about it. But let's continue, man.
Conversations are put on the table between two gays. And I know this. Again, Job Corps. 1989. I know. Two whores. Prostitutes, basically. Talking about gay marriage. Oh, I can't wait to get married. Well, why don't you wait for marriage then? Why are you sleeping with everybody in all these dorms? Why are you going around sleeping with everybody if it's all about me?
First of all, we don't slut shame on this channel. I'm sorry, no. You don't call somebody a whore outside of the bedroom and they're not asking you. Let's just keep it real. Like, sometimes that shit is hot. Like, call me a whore daddy. And but that's only with consent, and that's only where in a safe space, using safe words. But, dude, you have no right to actually fucking call somebody out for sleeping around, because last time I checked, you said you weren't married when you had your kids. And you're not married now, but I guess you're not sleeping around with somebody now. But, dude, no. You disrespectful asshole. But let's continue.
Marriage. The world is a lot smaller than what you think. There are less parties than what you think. There are less religions than what you think.
To some extent, he's not wrong. The world is smaller than what a lot of people think. But that's because we have more in common than we have what's separating us. Most humans actually have the same basic body plan. 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes. Some people actually have 2 ears that worked. Like, fucking humans are, quite literally, there is a small amount that makes us different. And the fact that you can't see that, man, says more about you than other people. But let's continue. And we're almost finished, guys.
The world is less complicated. Help me, Lord. The world is less complicated than you think it is. But if I tell myself that something is right when it's wrong, I'm in need of about 100 philosophies that make it right. When it's clearly, for conscience sake, it's wrong. It's simply wrong. But if I try to say that it's right, then I need to add all these other philosophies to make it right. And I need to condemn what's right in order to make what I'm doing right. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if one part of your body is failing, you got to take some skin or pull an artery or a muscle or a tissue or something from another part of your body to heal that body, to heal that part of the body.
It's called a skin graft, dog. Skin graft. It's pretty simple. And the fact that you, I don't know, are relating how people feel towards one each other as a sickness only shows your issue, not someone else's. Like, I mean, like, say what you want, man. Like, you may think that you're right, you're the life applications officer, but you have some fucking issues, dog. And I hate to say it like that. You really do. You really believe that you're right and anybody who thinks different from you is wrong, also wrong. That's a problem. But let's continue.
That's what happens with these liberal ideas and philosophies. You got to take from one part of your body for another part of your body. But all you got to do is step outside your door. Okay? And there is the beginning of understanding politics. All you got to do is listen and pay attention. And then you'll understand why some of us are pro-American and some of us are pro whatever else that is. So, Dear Recruit, your life applications officer, I didn't realize